Captain.
Ahoy, landlubbers! Today I will talk about the 10 worst balanced skills in the game. So the skills that need to be changed most urgent. Lay back, enjoy the rant and disagree with your captain in the comments. As you might have noticed, today is not Monday, so this video is late again. If you want to get the latest news about my video schedule, just follow me on Twitter. Let's hoist the sails! We start with one of the worst skills in the entire game. Spiked armor is very unique, as it's the only skill giving you thorns. This skill was obviously made for Druid, and I can see that Druid was broken and this skill couldn't be that strong. But now Druid isn't broken anymore, and you didn't ever play the skill in Druid anyways. If even the class you are built for doesn't want you, you need a buff. I suggest 4 thorns for 5 gems. This way Druid can transform first turn with it, even without the second bonus, and also buy it in the first shop on some maps. This way it would at least have a use for one class. Perfect Crystal's effect is quite strong, but compared to other protection skills it's just too expensive. 12 gems is a lot if you compare to other protection skills. Frost Nova costs 9 for a first turn daze. Ice Block costs 7 for a damage block. Perfect Crystal has a pretty cool and balanced effect for a 9 gem skill. But right now it's not worth its price. Which is really sad because the idea is so cool. Have you ever bought it and thought it was worth it? I didn't. Explosive Shot is an interesting skill, but even in good decks it won't even trigger every turn. So you deal 10 damage to all enemies, not even every turn. What's the matter? While Solid Shell has the same problems, you can compensate it with Armor, plus it costs 2 gems less. Not even talking about another skill that has a similar designed effect. Explosive Shot definitely needs a change, it's so underwhelming. Latest patch, these daggers came into the game that trigger on first combat card played. I like the idea, making combat cards more attractive, but 9 gems makes them all worthless for their weak effects. Either buff the numbers or reduce the price, because this way you don't support combat cards at all. The amount of shield Circular Shield gives per shuffle was changed from 8 to 10 lately, and right now it wins you entire ones even on higher infernos. 20 to 30 shield per turn aren't unusual with shorter decks, which is way too much. If 6 cards are remaining in your deck, this skill already triggers twice. 5 cards, it triggers 3 times. It's one of the most broken skills in the game, and definitely needs a nerf. The only reason it's not higher ranked is because not everyone plays decks that short. The idea of Piece of Coal is pretty nice. You get 2 resistance, but pay it with 2 debuffs. The problem is that restarting the battle also rerolls the debuffs, so you can basically just restart until you have blind and weak, and suddenly you got 2 resistance for free. Making it fix could lead to blocked silence first turn though, so maybe just let it apply to Frail or something. Making it that easy to abuse is definitely not how it should be. Electrostatic Field costs the maximum price for skills, 15 gems. So it's supposed to be one of the very best skills in the game. A skill you invest your gems in, because it can decide your entire one. And what does it do? Against very aggressive triple enemies like sharks or red lizard nest it can be really good. But against most enemies you won't even feel the impact. Toxic Globe costs 7 gems and does nearly the same, but also stacks very well with other toxic effects. 15 gems is just way too much for this weak skill. The damage raises way too slow and it's honestly close to a fraud. Dark Sigil is broken by design. It's the only remaining way to permaloop in Rogue Adventure. You only need a short deck and Seeker of the Light. Tada! But with some healing, it's super broken in a lot of decks. It at least costs quite a bit, and the HP cost already was increased. but in my eyes a bigger nerf is needed. 2 HP per card is not enough. I would like to see it costing 3 HP or even 4. A scaling HP cost could also work. In its current form, this skill changes an okay deck into a broken one and is way too easy to abuse. And I'm not even sure if abuse is the right word if a skill is built like that. Demon Eye was the most broken skill for a long time. +1 permanent mana for 7 gems without a real downside, that's flat out broken. And no, blind is not a real nerf if you know the enemy move patterns. And if you don't, just look them up, link in the description. Necronomicon is balanced way better. It costs 9 gems and also halves your max HP, which can really have impact on your 1. So why wasn't this skill ever changed, even though everyone knows it's broken? My guess is that devs want the players to learn the patterns. And that's a good reason to leave the skill as it is. Many experienced players might disagree with me here, but I like it as it is. It's a great motivation for new players to dig deeper into the game. Balance-wise, it definitely needs a change though. An increase of its cost would be reasonable, as it costs less than Necronomicon besides being stronger. So what can be more broken than 7 gems for 1 permanent mana? I couldn't have imagined that one time a skill will be released that is more broken than Demon Eye. Freezing Shot does it with ease. Single enemies are completely chanceless. Happens they don't do a single move in the entire fight. Against group of enemies it's worse. But as its effect is random, a restart can do wonders. My suggestion would be an increase to the cards played from 10 to 15. Right now it's easy to abuse, way too impactful and also quite cheap. The most broken skill by far. Makes everyone a walk through the park. The deserved winner of this list. I hope you liked this video enough to give me some feedback in return. As always, I read every comment, appreciate every like, love every member of my crew, and am available on Twitter and Discord. See you next week, hopefully in time. Captain's out.
Captain.